each and every day. My name is David AKUETTEH, and I am right here to be with you till 3. Now, have you ever been in love before? It's a very beautiful thing, isn't it? But has anybody ever broken your heart? Have you had to break up with somebody you really, really, really cherished, or somebody you really, really loved before? You know, when people are in love, one of the things that we lose sight of is the fact that, well, it is possible that our relationship will go bad and there will be a breakup. So question is, have you gone through a bad breakup before? Has anybody ever broken your heart before? How is the feeling like? Now, looking back at whatever you did at the time, would you say that it was worth it? I'm asking this question because there are times when somebody breaks somebody's heart. They will cry, they will even contemplate suicide, they will destroy stuff. Maybe if it's a guy who broke your heart, you want to destroy the guy's stuff and all that. Looking back, do you think that it's worth it? All the things that you did when you had a break, from that person. How do we even communicate, our intentions to call off a relationship? Some people are harsh when they come to it. They would say to you without, thinking twice as to whether it's going to hurt you or not. They will say it as they think or deem fit. Others, well, they'll look for a nice way to tell you. And in some cases, others will just give you the silent treatment and distance themselves. And after a while, you get to know that he or she is no more interested in you. So then it means the relationship is over. That's our conversation here this afternoon. On Facebook, we have this post that says, breakup is part of relationships. Yet many people find it unbelievable when it happens and react badly to it. Some even, tend to be violent and even contemplate or attempt suicide. How should breakups be communicated? In your way, how do you think breakups should be communicated? Should we be tactful with it? Should we do it shrewdly? Or just say it as it is? I would like to hear your story. Has anybody broken your heart? How did the person break the communication to you in terms of calling off the relationship? Did the person do it in a nice way, which of course you think others should emulate and use? Or you think that the person did it in a very bad way, and that's how come people behave the way they do? On my panel this afternoon, I have Mrs. Rita Kramper. She's a counselor, and I don't know whether anybody has broken her heart before. I don't know whether she's cried over a guy before. I don't know whether when it happened, she went around throwing stones at the guy's windscreen or destroyed the guy's television, stuff like that. We'll talk. Also, Kofi Asare-Sianoa is also a counselor, and he's also the regional boss for the TUC here in the Ashanti region. And these two amazing, wonderful people are going to enable us to have a conversation. They're going to help us with all the answers that we need. But I'd love also to hear from you, because without you, I don't have a show. So, have you gone through any bad breakup before? Did it happen because of the way the communication went? Or, you think that, well, once there's a breakup, you don't have to necessarily care about how you say it. Just say it as it is. What are your thoughts? Share them with us on Facebook. I've got some comments there. I'll be reading them. I'll show you. I'll be reading them. So, one of my guys is looking at me. I'm giving the famous of assurances. I'll be reading your messages. Unlike times past. Today I'll read them, I promise. No matter the time is kind of limited, so you don't get to do all this. But I'll show you. I'll read your messages today. And also, we shall be activating the phone lines and get to hear from you. So this is our subject for conversation here on Love 99.5. Auntie Rita is already with me in the studios of Love 99.5. Hi, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Dave.
How are you doing?
By God's grace, I'm fine.
Good to hear and good to have you. Now, before we even delve into this very matter, we are having what we call the educational fair. And we are putting it together for people in Kumasi and beyond. It's going to happen on the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th of March. That is next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're doing this because to a large extent, many people want to have tertiary education, and for one reason or the other, they've not been lucky. We're doing this again because of the fact that many people out there have intentions of reading some particular program. And because one particular university did not, accept the application and enroll them in the school to read that very program, they think that is the end of the world. There are many people out there as well who, for one reason or the other, again, could not enter the university because of a few things that was lacking at the time. Now they're working. They work for like 10 years, 15 years. And they don't even know that they can still go back to school. So we're bringing together universities, several of them. I mean, I can even say almost all the universities here in the Ashanti region to be part of this very beautiful educational fair. For those, I want you're somebody who loves education, you love to read. And so for people who are listening to us, what would you want to say to them about this educational fair that we're putting together? That is Love FM.
I think one of the main issues why people don't get to the educational level that they want to is usually financial. But most of these universities, some of them, their fees are negotiable. Mm-hmm. You could go and they will make special arrangement for you for the fee payment. For example, if you cannot pay the bulk sum of the amount they are asking for, they can break them down for you to make the repayment as flexible. So I think it's good. If you may not know that is what they can do for you. Maybe you see the fee on their website and you think, wow, it's too much. Yeah. But when you go there personally, you can negotiate and then you get the course that you want to do.
Is it easy for adults to go to school? I mean, I'm talking about adults here because you've been in that office for several years, and the young ones come with their degree and the master's degree and all that, and then they are getting the promotions and all that, and you are still there. Because of my children, I am sacrificing for them, but you can also do something for yourself. First of all, is it easy for an adult to,
I think a lot of times it's the perception that we have, because if you are an adult and you are working, I don't think your aim is to stay in that office for the rest of your entire life. Mm-hmm. So you could do a course that is a little bit different, so that when you leave that particular office, you could do something either on your own. You could learn something about entrepreneurship and other things that could move you from being an employee to an employer yourself. So it's not necessarily going to learn something that will give you promotion on your desk, but something that will help you in your future.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. So if you're listening to us, it's happening on next Thursday, at the Kumasi City Mall. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. As at 9 in the morning, we would have been ready already, and we'll be waiting for you. So if you're a parent and you want the very best also for your child or for your children, you come by and engage with all the universities who will be there and get to know which school your child can go to and do well in life. All right? When we return, we'll talk about our breakup. How should we communicate breakups? Should we be polite, nice with it, or should we be straight to a point and tell you as it is? I mean, that's something that many have a problem with as to how you communicate. So we'll be right back. Please don't go away.
For the past 12 years, New Generation Investment Services Limited, a leading investment banking firm, has guided thousands of institutions and retail investors to make millions in secured portfolio investments. New Generation Investment Services Limited is licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission and the National Pension Regulatory Authority. We offer Treasury Bill Plus fixtures for products such as fixed deposits, premium investments, NGI's childcare investment, and Diamond Plus investment plans, as well as manages Tier 2 and Tier 3 pension funds. NGI's Limited also manages the Enidaso Mutual Fund. Talk to our seasoned investment advisors now and we will structure an investment portfolio for you. Visit us at first floor Kokobo Jubilee House, Adum Kumasi, and second floor Abosoma Kutre House near Cocoa House, Sunyani, or our website www.ngis-group.com. Call us in Kumasi on 03220-91608 or in Sunyani on 0352-197-482. New Generation Investment Services Limited, achieving excellent returns on your investments.
All right, so we're back on your radio, and I pray that you have a story to tell or to share. Breakup is part of relationships, yet many people find it unbelievable when it happens and react badly to it. Some even tend to become very violent, even attempting suicide. How should breakups be communicated? I'm asking, should we do it tactfully, shrewdly, or just say it as it is? Charlie, it's over between you and I. I want you to join us with your own thoughts, your own experiences. How do you think breakups should be communicated? And have you gone through a bad break before? Because there are many people out there who, when they're going through breakups, because they think that their heart is broken, they do so many things, silly things. Use the word silly things. They like to destroy stuff. They even contemplate suicide and all that. Alex is a virgin, so I know he doesn't even know what I'm talking about. But I can share my experience with you. But I don't know whether I should be doing it, right now or hold on until later on the program. But Mrs. Scramper, tell me, breakups, we all know what it is, and many people have gone through it, and many people will still go through it. Would you say that yes, it is part of relationships, love relationship? Is it a part of it?
Yes, it's part of relationship because even though you didn't start off the relationship, that there's going to be a breakup. But so many things can come in.
Yeah.
Sometimes you realize that you don't agree on so many things with the person. There may be mistrusts, hurts here and there, and some expectations, disappointments. So all these things could lead out to breakup.
So if it's a part of the relationship, how come many people don't see it as such that when it comes, they look so surprised and they act, let me use the word, foolishly sometimes?
I think a lot of them, it's unexpected. They thought everything is going on fine. Then suddenly the partner decides to break the relationship for one reason or the other. It's like they were not really prepared for the breakup. That is, the surprises is what makes it hurt, and sometimes brings out the pain that leads people to go for suicide and sometimes misbehave, sort of.
All right, so Kofi, you good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon, David.
And hope you're well.
Oh, I'm doing great.
All right, so she said that many people contemplate suicide and many also behave in a very funny way simply because although breakups are part of relationships, they are not really prepared for it. But okay, please go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon to our cherished listeners. That is partly true because, but the truth is that most of us do deceive ourselves. Sometimes we know it's going to break.
Because the signs are there.
Yeah, but we act as if it will not happen. And so when it finally happens, we begin to receive it with some kind of misfeeling and some bad attitude towards it, because we all know a flourishing relationship, the things to look out for. So if you don't have them, you must psych yourself and believe that it's breaking the relationship could be part of saving yourself for a better life ahead.
So breakups are good sometimes.
Sometimes.
So how come people don't see how the positive nature of the breakup? Why do people focus attention only on the negative? I'm hurt emotionally, and so therefore I need to do A, B, and C. How come people don't realize the good sides of it?
Okay, let me quickly say something before Mommy comes in. The truth of the matter is that I've said it over and over here. A lot of people don't have control over their own life. Their emotions, their strength, they don't even know.
But can we have control of our emotions? This is love we're talking about.
Oh, please.
Here. This is love we're talking about.
You can have control over
love and emotions.
That is why you are. It's something that you cannot have control. Why would you be cautioned to develop it?
No, but if you can, how can you control your love? How can you control your emotions? Because you've given your all to somebody, and the person breaks it. You're saying that what you can control.
So now we come back to the kind of breakups that may possibly lead someone into thinking this one is unexpected. I never saw it coming. When the person seems to be treating you so well, no complaints, you don't seem to see the signs, and just all of a sudden the person decides to end it. Wow. Those ones is because it's like you have put all your strength, your love, and your commitment to the relationship, and for you are looking forward to the future of the relationship, having no signs to even back off or condition yourself that it's possible to hit the rocks. So all of a sudden the person comes and then begins to give you an indication that it ends with you at this juncture. Oh, you begin to ask yourself, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
What makes you begin to feel that kind of disappointed in your own self? It's like, was I doing something wrong and he never told me? Where did I go? Now you want to find out whether you are the reason. For sometimes you may not be you. The person, especially we are in Africa, where people say that there was black magic. Oh dear. No, I'm just trying to. Sometimes you can't understand. You can look at some couples or some friends that are so good moving on together, and all of a sudden some tricky issue, something simple, separates them. And one begins to pull the end so tight that, for this particular thing, I have said to myself, I will never allow him. But when you get into the details of the issue, it's something that if you truly love and care, you can be able to either forgive or let go. Okay. So it's about you. Mostly it's about all of us as individuals.
Kofi, has anybody broken your heart before? Yes,
no, please, no. Well, no. It's not in my dictionary. I don't have that one.
Maybe you don't want to share. But how important is the way we communicate the breakup? How important is it?
I think sometimes the reason for the breakup, if it happens suddenly, then it becomes a little painful for the other person. Yeah. Now, one partner is angry, and the main thing is, you've hurt me, so I want to hurt you back. Maybe you may not be thinking it is going to hurt the person, but you are so emotionally charged with anger and pain that you are a little bit selfish in breaking the relationship. You are not thinking of what will happen to the other person. All you want to do is get out of this relationship now and today. So you don't really care how the other person is going to feel like. But in a situation where it is a gradual thing, like Kofi rightly said, you might have seen it coming.
The signs
and everything. So it's like, I'm just marking time to see how this will go. When you get the information then that this is the end, we are ending here, it is not as painful as it is when you are not expecting it. You might think everything is going on smoothly, whether it is by African magic or whatever. Suddenly it goes, and it's if it's out of revenge and anger, the other person is not considerate. But most of the time, if it's something that has a very reasonable, can I say reasonable reason for breaking then the person will be gradual to tell you that I think where we have reached, we cannot go on because of ABC. That becomes a little
should it be done when one is angry?
I think there is something we call emotional intelligence. And it is good to calm yourself down when you are angry before you take any decision, especially decisions like relationship. And sometimes whatever is making you angry, if you calm yourself down and you do another further check, you realize that it's just not supposed to be like that. There could be some reason which has brought that incident, or whatever happened, so that you calm yourself down and then see the next step and take better decisions. Because when you are angry, most of the things we say and do doesn't really make sense. Immediately you finish and you are calm, then you begin to realize that, oh, I went too far. And in a situation where perhaps the other person might have committed suicide, what will you do? Now that you realize that I should have calmed down before just going to break the relationship, the person is dead now, you cannot bring the person back to life. People have ended up in the psychiatric hospitals and other places, and because they've had broken hearts. And the other party has regretted it, but there's nothing you can do. So it's better to calm down before you make those decisions.
Kofi, how important, again, the same question, how important would you say the communication is? If you want to tell somebody that, listen, it's over between you and I, how important is it? Should you just say it as it should be said, I mean, as it is, or should you do it in a very tactful manner?
First, I will have to put it into perspective. The first one is that the very moment you realize it cannot work again, there is no need to delay. But the fact that there is no need to delay does not mean that you just say it anyhow and anyway. What is important is that sometimes you must be sensitive enough to the feelings of the other party who is going to receive the news. But you must equally be very objective and fair. Like exactly what Mommy said, some of us may have seen people who knew the relationship had to end, but not enough for them to be blamed. They rather cause a scenario, a scene, where they will put you in the soup. Then based on what your reaction was in the breakup. That is where they can infuriate you. Then based on that,
unnecessarily,
for
no reason, for no cause, for no cause.
But they know the thing is actually about to end. So be very fair. Let the other party, it's a love issue we are talking about. No matter what. In fact, the truth of the matter is that even in relationship where the other party has not been pulling up his wings, it could be abusive partner. When it's ending, there will still be some level of hurt, because you may have equally had other times that if people have shared, that is so beautiful, so nice, and there may be other aspects of that particular individual that you wish you never lose. So no matter how poor any relationship is, there was still something that so consider the timing or the moment. How can you break a relationship with someone you may have dated for 2 years on his or her birthday?
But that is the day you think that so you hold on to it.
No.
You don't tell the person.
No. Okay. Why couldn't you do it any other day than the day? So what it means is that why do you want to make her day bad? You know a birthday is supposed to be special, but it means that you want to break up with the birthday, but you still want to punish the person. Why won't you let the person be herself? Why do you decide that the day that you may have promised the person to do something beautiful and the person is looking forward to that is that day that you decide to break? That's why I said that be objective and be fair. You must understand that whoever is receiving the message must receive it as it is, but not in a situation where the person will feel you have equally, even in the course of the break, you seem to have closed the door of other aspect of the person's life. Then the person begins to feel empty. It's like he's nothing or she is nothing.
Well, oftentimes I don't really have enough time to read messages, but today I'm assuring you, I'll read your messages. I'm promising you, I'll read your messages. So you can log on to Facebook and watch us live on Facebook and drop your comments under the live feed as you watch us. I've seen some very, very interesting comments, and they're already tickling me already. I feel like laughing, about some of the comments. If not, drop the message under the live feed. You can also drop it on the diary's post, which I reach it and read it. Now, Auntie Rita, let me ask you this question: should you consider the emotions of the person you're breaking up with?
Yes.
Should you also give reasons for the breakup?
I think the person has every right to know why you are breaking up with them.
All right, so let's take it one after the other. The emotions. Why do you need to consider the emotions of the person? And in considering the emotions of the person in breaking the communication, what do you do? Say, okay, break the news of a dead one. When you're going to break the news of someone who's passing.
Even that one, you manage it.
So you manage. So let's talk about it. Why do you need to, consider the person's emotions? Why?
You see, you have already been in a relationship with a person. There were some good times. There were some bad times.
Yeah.
And you are not breaking up because we want to become enemies from now on.
Because people have broken up and are still friends.
Yeah. Yes. And more so, the whatever the relationship has been, I always say that as we walk along, we learn certain things from each other. So no matter how bad it is, there was a little advantage somewhere. So you see this person now as a friend, and you wouldn't want to hurt a friend. No matter how bad it is, even our friends that we don't have any strong emotions attached, you don't just get up to hurt your friends like that. So as human as you are, you have to be considerate. That is why you are looking at the occasion, the timing, and everything all inclusive. I always say that people do outrageous things when they are proposing. They could go to the stadium, make announcements, and all those things that we see all over the place. But you cannot do that when you are breaking up with a person. You don't go to the stadium and have it put on the billboard that we are ending today, because now there are emotions involved here, and you don't want to be an enemy.
All right, so let me throw in the second bit of my question. Give reasons. Why do you need to give reasons? Because there are times when you don't even have a reason for the breakup. So how about that?
If you don't have a reason for the breakup, then you don't have any reason to break up. Because you cannot... No, Dave, I don't think you can just get up and say that, today, from now on, I don't want to see you again. What is the reason? No reason. There should be something. Maybe you have not consciously...
African electronics. That's what I said.
Apart from African electronics, you have to really give the person... The reason is, you see...
So are you saying that every person... there are many times when somebody breaks up with somebody and you want to know why. So... They are lying.
They are lying. They are not being fair to themselves because, David, it could be a gradual something. Probably you started so much in love with each other, but with time, some certain behaviors and things and attitudes that are coming gradually pulls you away from the person, and you must be able to tell the person. You have to be honest. Those who usually say that, they found somebody else, but they cannot tell you that I've gotten somebody else, so that's why I'm moving, because they think it will hurt. But so for simplicity's sake or something, let me just say, there must be some
but
reason
can they handle
there.
the truth, James? I said, somebody said something about James. James said he wishes James was on the show. James, good afternoon to you. I know you didn't know anything. He said he wishes James was here, so I was just mentioning James' name. But Kofi, seriously, like you're saying, we need to consider the person's emotions.
Yeah.
And again, we're saying that we need to give reasons why we're breaking up with the person. Can people handle the truth as to why we're breaking up? Can people handle the truth? Because you can't handle it. So I tell you that, well, there's no reason. And that respect my view of it. And you maybe as well say jai.
Okay. Ideally, if every relationship will be very transparent to the persons involved, then the reason shouldn't be a difficulty, because it will not just come one day. I will use myself as an example. When I was dating my wife, then I would rather look at her and tell her that the truth of the matter is that today I am all out for you, but if I find any reason why I cannot go with you, I will not continue. The reason is that I am not selling my life to you. I'm trying to move together with you. So constantly I will let you know who I am in terms of my strength and my weakness, and you two must be able to pick these things and see how you can manage them. Then the two of us can move on. But if there should be any point in our life where you think I am not someone you can contain, don't for any reason. You see, the problem that we have is that we seem to be living with each other, but we don't know each other. So we try as much as possible just to bottle everything that is happening, and one day we open it up. And then the day we open it up, we say it's over. You are not being fair. Right from the very day of the relationship, the things that are likely to ruin the relationship, let the partner know.
So you're talking about your likes and dislikes.
That is the point.
Things that could create
He does it. You said that this thing that you do, I've told you that it pisses me off. I don't like it. I don't like it. So the day you decide that you cannot contain it, you look straight into the person's face, then you make reference.
Well, I told you.
I told you. So it's not the fact that I am just making up. But if you say for no reason, just because you don't want anybody to feel bad, then the person will think that that is a, dishonest statement. You are breaking my heart, having done nothing. Then why did you come into my life in the first place? Why did you let me open up myself, my mind, my emotions to you, only for you to say that for no reason I'm no more important? And for that matter, you cannot keep along with me. So I strongly believe that every day of our life, we must know each other. Every day of our life, our dislikes, our strength, our weaknesses, the very things that can ruin the relationship, open it up to your partner.
We're talking about breakups here this afternoon, but we're focusing much more attention on how it is communicated. Many people do it in a way that would worsen your situation. Like, Kofi was saying, even on your birthday, he or she will come up to you and break it to you. So each and every time you celebrate your birthday, if you're not too careful, that thought would also hit you. So have you gone through a bad breakup before yourself, as you're listening to us? Have you gone through a bad breakup before? How was it communicated to you? How was it communicated to you? And the point is, why do some people take breakups in a very bad way? Bad way such that they want to commit suicide, they cry, they don't eat, and what? They want to destroy property and all the things that others do. Let's talk about this afternoon. How do you think breakups should be communicated? Should we consider the person's emotions like, Auntie Rita is saying, oh, Charlie, all die be die. Just say it anyway. Let's move on. But Kofi, one other thing that comes to mind is this: the fact that when you're breaking up with somebody, some of them will keep begging you. Oh, Kofi, Charlie, me jam why? Oh, Kofi, me do. Kofi, me pardon say. They say things to you, and they ask like mercy, love, or you need to pity for them. So because you want to avoid such issues or such a situation, people will give you the cold treatment. So if he calls you like 5 times every day, I have 2 crab ball, one. So he doesn't make one excuse from the other. On can't you say jai? But wow, really, oh, smart to who say Charlie. I don't know, only me jai. Is that also a nice way? And should people also keep begging Charlie? Kofi Mew, Auntie Charlie, Mew.
You see, when you have not really experienced the thing before, it's sometimes very difficult to express how it feels if you are in it. The truth of the matter is, every one of us must enter into any relationship apart from marriage itself with that idea that it can work and it can also not work. So that if it works, it is the two of you that have made it so. If it doesn't work, see that as the two of you that have realized that it cannot work. But you know, David, the reason why people go begging and doing all these things is that when we start our relationship, we start so many things too quick. We try to as if yes, yeah, you want to dim. Into I say and come on, what do you fans? And are you getting it? Sometimes they have made you Lord, the master of their life. In relationship, the husband is not the guy is not the head. The Bible did not say that. It's in marriage. So if you really related to him as if he's your head, and therefore you have kowtowed and you have really sold yourself out in everything, then of course you will beg. And as a gentleman, if a woman you may have taken care of in terms of schooling and other things.
Like, when I'm saying to listeners that if you have only an O-level certificate or A-level certificate, and you've been working for like 12 years, instead of using your money to educate yourself, come to the educational fair and then get some forms and educate yourself. You go and see some SS girl and sponsor her to go to university, and then she comes and tell you, you're in the class with you.
See, sometimes what happens, what makes breakups very difficult is the very things that go into it. So sometimes we
the commitment, the
sacrifice. But I tell you the truth, that is why the whites seem to find it so easy in terms of dating. For them, they think that I'm trying it. I'm just getting along with you. Cannot work. But for us, even your mother,
the whites do same. They pull knives. They shoot, kill people. They burn houses. They burn cars. They do all those silly crazy things.
What I'm trying to say is that we are looking at in terms of generality.
Okay.
For us, when you are even dating, looking at our cultural background and then the kind of poverty situation we find ourselves in, sometimes the mother and the parents of either the girl may even start treating the boy as an already would, and every time demanding certain things. So you see, all these things put together makes breakup quite difficult for some people. But if you meet and you allow yourself naturally to weave your life into the other party's life, you realize that you are weaving it. It's like weaving the basket. Where you think the straw is not fit for it, you only take it out. But if you realize that weaving the basket is becoming a challenge for you, do you continue to weave it anyhow when it cannot hold anything? You just stop. So we must all accept the fact that relationship is about two people having come to agree that we have common interests and we want to build it together.
Very, very interesting comments on Facebook. One that is even tickling me right now is the person would have to give her a breakup certificate. Whoa! In that relationship, did you give the person a relationship certificate? Did you give the person a relationship certificate to come and say, give me a breakup certificate? Well, this is Love 99.5, and our conversation this afternoon is how people handle breakups, how people communicate their breakup and all that. Now, have you gone through any bad breakup before? How was the breakup communicated to you? Was the person nice in saying it, or the person was not nice and generous at all in saying it? Did the person, say it in a way that made you feel even worse or less of a human being? How should we break the news? I mean, if you think that you and somebody are not clicking and you think that it's time for you to go your separate ways, how do you communicate it? Do you think that you should say it as it is, or just find a nice way of breaking the news? Now, so Kofi saying it's wrong to beg?
Oh, I wouldn't say it's wrong. You have to find out. I mean, you are trying your best. It's not wrong to beg. I mean, it's love. So long as you can have it. And if you really plead and you can have it and it will work for you, what stops you from pleading? But my point is that don't beg and make it feel like that is your life. Your life is yours. Yours is the life that you have is yours. So if it is for the good of you, you may beg and get the person back only for it to become a problem.
But he will look down upon you, or she will look down upon you. He or she will not necessarily respect you because
after begging,
you pleaded. Yes, you pleaded for.
Oh, but when you are begging, it's like, we all ask for forgiveness. So when you ask for forgiveness and you are forgiven, does it turn out to be that you are cheap? No, it's about relationship. So that's why you want reasons.
But Kofi, when you say asking for forgiveness, it means you've done something wrong and you're asking to be forgiven. But this one,
I haven't done anything wrong.
And the person let's break up.
But you cannot also say that just get up. Okay, if you say it's over, it's over. Who can say that? You tell or tell it that you are not really in love. You must actually fight for it. That is why we say that we fight for love.
Aunt Teresa,
yeah.
How should people handle it? When somebody tells you, whether in a bad way, in a nice way, or whatever way, that it's over, how should we take it? I'm asking this question because, like I said, I know people who've destroyed property.
Yeah. So
the guy comes to tell you, before the guy leaves your premises, you take a stone and you smash his windscreen. And then you sit back and he's like, waiting class. Or you take a what do you call it? A hammer and hit his television set. 65-inch television. Maseno. does it give you relief in any way? Or you go sit in the corner in the room and you cry. Sometimes your mother, then you are crying. Mommy, your mother is also not privy to what is happening. So we'll talk about whether parents have a role in helping people manage it and all. But now, the question is, how should you take it? How should you
I think, like I earlier said, your emotions are yours.
Okay.
And you can control it. That is when you calm yourself down. Now, breakup is not easy. It's painful, whether expected or unexpected.
But you people say you should manage your emotions and all.
Yes.
So you should be able to manage the breakup too.
Yes, that's why I'm saying that when the partner breaks up with you, sometimes because you are also hurt, it is best to calm down. So at that moment, you can leave the scene, say okay, and then calm yourself down. You can come back for the reason at any time. If the person is giving you the reason now, fine. If the person is not, you can later on find out. Because the breakup, you are going to start a new relationship. And whatever happens that resulted in the breakup, you don't want to repeat it. So that if you make the person aware that I'm breaking up with you because probably I don't like the way that you dress, or the way you talk, or this attitude, or that one, then, or even if it is not direct, for example, it must be influenced by some other external forces. Your parents might say that, okay, she wears glasses. I don't like a lady who wears glasses. So that is why
from the Volta region or from the
exactly.
region,
so that is why I'm breaking up with you. So that next time when I'm going into a relationship, probably the first one, I wasn't really considering tribes and language and all that, because so far as I'm concerned, when I speak English, you understand. When you speak, so there's no need for me to understand your language. But now that I know it matters, in my next relationship, I learned something from the new one to help me manage the other one. And also, when there are breakups, most of the time, we receive it with anger. That is when you tend to go smash the person's windscreen, but it doesn't help. It doesn't do anything. After whether you smash it or not, he's not coming back.
But at least doesn't it give you a bit of relief?
What relief?
My sanity, you know.
Yeah, but you see, as human as we are, today you might feel you are okay, but give yourself a day or two. You realize.
Let's say even at most 1 month.
One month to cry. Sometimes the same day, you are able to realize what you did was of no use. After all, doing all these things will not do anything for you. There are cases in which people, when there is a breakup, assuming I bought the phone for you and there's a breakup, I take the phone and smash it or give it back to me. All these, I don't think you're not mature. You are not matured. It doesn't show maturity. You need to really sit down and evaluate yourself. Sometimes the reason is not from the other person, but you could be the one who is creating the problem.
Cause.
You could be the cause. So after you've evaluated the whole thing, you know that, okay, so I did A, B, C, D. That is when you think that, okay, I can change. Because I love the person and I want the relationship. So then you come asking for forgiveness if you could have another chance. Otherwise, if it is not meant for you, it is not meant for you. Go look for another person. There are so many other, there may be other better people there.
Kofi, is it possible that we can have at the back of our minds? Because our wife will cry, do be able to. So can we have at the back of our minds that in as much as we're dating or courting or whatever people refer to it as, can we have at the back of our minds that once one party says, listen, ye jai, and I say jai, reasoning and say, okay, fine. I left a space in my heart, in my mind that this can happen. So, well, go your way, let me go my way. Or it's not possible.
In fact, that should be the reality.
Huh?
That should be the reality. Any person you decide to hook up with in terms of relationship, dating, courtship, and all that, in as much as you are looking forward to seeing the future of that relationship, at least create a small corner somewhere,
a small room there.
that is possible. The reason being that sometimes it could be divine. For so many reasons, it could be divine.
But we cannot see it immediately, can we?
That is it. So you don't go and close your mind that it's him. And especially with some women, the first man that I would date to be the one that I will marry.
You know, because it was daytime radio, so I'd allow it. I know what you want to say. He broke me and blah blah. He broke my.
I mean, these things are. You may have made a mistake doing that, but don't let it continue. sometimes the signs will be so clear that yes, you may have made a mistake in starting whatever you did wrong, but you still have the opportunity to correct it.
Okay.
But people think that, oh, I've said to myself that the one that breaks me is the one that will marry me. So even if he will be like a lion or a jata. I will still marry him. I mean, these things
again,
are
what it is that
childish.
you're studying each other. You're studying each other. So in studying each other, if you find out something you're not comfortable with, that's as simple as
It's
that.
as simple as that.
I'm not comfortable with this.
Yeah.
Not.
After studying you, I'm not comfortable with this. So shall I go your way? Let me go my way.
But that's why you don't need to put everything inside. If you have
Everything
already
like
put
what?
everything inside,
Financial.
financial,
Everything.
body,
Sometimes
sex, and
people
all
see
this.
this premarital relationship like investment. They put everything in there. There are some who are even living together, more or less.
Cohabitation. Yeah.
Tight one.
All right, I said I was going to read messages today, so let me start reading my messages. But one personal private message came to my phone. The person wants me to know from you, Kofi, is it good to distance yourself? I mean, you don't tell the person that it's over, but you don't call the person as often.
It's
like
another
you.
sign.
Is
It's another
it
sign.
good?
It can be good at certain times.
Or it is.
I cannot say it is depending. It depends on the situation. Sometimes you are only pulling away whether the person will see the signs and begin to reason that this is what is coming. So it could be a sign to draw attention.
And when you do that, when you distance yourself and the person calls you and says, Charlie, Kofi, I say, what's the sound? I don't say Jaya now. What do you capitalize on this? Say yes.
Of course, it's an opportunity for you to tell the person that it's not that the person
Nobody
can't catch you and say,
Why? So then that brings me to my next question. Why do some people find it so difficult to tell somebody that lesson is over? Why do they find it difficult?
It depends on the way the relationship is going.
Yeah.
Because looking at the other person, one, you don't want to hurt them. But at the same time, you are not comfortable with whatever is going on. There are so many things going on that you think, I cannot move into the same room and live with this person till death do us part. But then looking at the way the person is going about in the relationship, it becomes difficult to break away. I know someone who initially was excited, a lady, that she's dating a fancy man. And looking at, the way fancies are, he goes to the house, the way the parents, then all of a sudden, the sisters, the brothers, everybody started pulling away. And she didn't understand. And after conversation and all that, she came back telling me that the gentleman says, my parents and my family says, the way you behave when we get married, we'll have issues because you seem to be lazy. And when I probed further, I realized that, you see, she closes from work 5 o'clock, goes there, Monday to Monday. Every day she's in the house. So the mother started asking, this lady lives with the parents. Doesn't she help the mother do anything? Every day she's here. Saturday, she spent the whole day here. Sunday, after church, she's here. So if you marry this lady, that is how her life is going to be like. And most of the time she's here, you people are going out to buy food. These are signs and things that probably the guy himself didn't even see. But everybody in the family pulled away. It is when she went to ask the guy, then he said, well, that is why they are all now kind of pulling away from you. She thinks she cannot change, so then let's end here. You go your way, I go my way.
But my question actually was, why do some people find it difficult to say it?
So in this case, the guy couldn't say it.
So what then do you do? You want to break up with the person. One
of the things has said is to pull away gradually from the person.
So the distant
it's a sign, the distancing.
Okay.
Or these days, fortunately, social media makes it easy.
Send a WhatsApp message.
Because you cannot face the person and tell them, or you can bring in a third person, to a reliable third person.
To embarrass him or her.
No.
Hey, no,
you are therefore should find a nicer way of breaking it to the person. Because sometimes when I'm telling you that I don't like the beard, I don't like the way you do this, I don't like the way you do, and you keep on doing it. A third person drawing your attention, telling you that Rita says she doesn't like ABCD, will get your attention.
Let's see how it pans out. I've got very, very interesting messages to read. I mean, you wouldn't want to miss the messages for anything, as well as your phone calls right after these. Please don't go away.
You are great, yes, you are. The Word of God is a strong foundation, a rock that keeps us standing through the storms of life and exposes our innermost thoughts and desires. Join the International Central Gospel Church Trinity Temple, Kwadaso, every Sunday from 8 to 10:30 a.m. as we help you discover your purpose through life-transforming messages. Remember, the proof of a desire is in its pursuit. Don't miss our weekday services on Wednesdays and Fridays from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Your life will never be the same.
Say you are great. You are great. Say you are great. You are great. Everything, everything about you is great.
The great thing about life is that we are all different and we are free to enjoy life's different flavors everywhere. Under the blazing sun or during a fun night out with the crew, it doesn't matter, because at that moment, all you need to do is reach for a Club Mineral to turn up the sweet, bitter, bubbly, spicy or tangy flavor. Whether Club Orange, Club Cola, Club Muscatella, Club Soda or Club Tonic, there's a flavor for everyone. Turn up the flavor. Club Minerals, there's a flavor for everyone.
In life, we have a choice.
To look for a way or to make our own way. Professional women need Pro Woman, which contains evening primrose, star flower oil, and other carefully selected ingredients which give you a healthy skin, hair, nails, and regular undelayed monthly cycle.
Proman is a specially developed multivitamin enriched with essential vitamins, L-carnitine, Siberian ginseng, and amino acids, which give a boost to your immune system and increases your performance at work. With Proman
and Pro Woman, we have the power to make our own way.
Proman and Pro Woman give you health and vitality for an active lifestyle.
Solely imported and marketed by NS Chemist Limited.
Oh, this gate. Hey, Mr. Techi, please come and help me open my gate, I beg you. What is wrong with this gate? You know, this is the second time I've changed this gate after the thieves broke into my shop 2 months ago. When I open it, it always gets stuck in the middle here. I don't know why. I'm even tired of it. Paco, I've always been telling you, never compromise on quality. You see, I've been using my roller shutter gate for the past 10 years, and I have never had any problems with it because I got it from Donima Steel Complex. Donima Steel Complex provides quality roller shutter gates at affordable prices. They are of high quality and impossible to break in. That's not all. They have the manual and automatic gate systems, which are ideal for warehouses, domestic stores, and garages. And they are installed by professionals without any extra charges. Had I known. Don't had I known, Bia.
Locate Donima Steel Complex at Asafo, YF Junction, near the Ghana Revenue Authority office.
Or call 0244-126-625. Donima Steel Complex, home of tropical products.
We're back for the very final lap. And I don't know what it is. My panel and my crew are laughing. Let me read your messages here. I have this one on Facebook. It's from Kwabi Emmanuel Holier or something like that. He says, I think you shouldn't trust 100% in a relationship. That way you can accept any shortfalls with ease. After all, the Bible warns us putting your trust in fellow human beings. And this one is from Lillian Owusu-Achem. She says, no matter how it is said, breakup is breakup. You will still feel the pain, even if it was God who descended to tell you about it. But it should be gently. You send a message and then block the person. Hey, you send a message and then you block the person. Don't be hovering around in the name of trying to lessen the pain, because it rather worsens it. Just get it out of the person's life after saying it. Get out of the person's life after saying it. That's what it should be. He or she will come to terms with it faster. Don't try to be ex and friend at the same time. Jerry Raymond Juventino says, you handle them with dignity and start anew. You have just started a new chapter in your life. Make it well written. Atanga Ernest says, for breakup, it really, and whenever it hits on us, it needs to be accommodated peacefully and silently. As you are in a relationship, remember breakups. But on the issue on how it is communicated, it should be done gently. Yate. Ejepong Richmond Also on Facebook, at Apiedu Kobeng on Facebook says, David, for such topics, I will wish you bring James. Okay, I was talking about it, James Abuaji on the show. But for me, we should just say it as it is. Happy belated birthday to Cecilia Afra Kuma. All right, so let me try and read more of your messages, especially the ones under the live feed. Give me a bit of time. Okay, so fine. Here it is. Here it is. All right. So this one is from Richard Opoku at Peace and Love Hospital and Odium. He says it's possible to end a relationship with understanding and kindness. You can walk away and not leave a door open. It allows you to heal quicker. It's important to note that closure does not necessarily mean that you are ready to date again, but rather that you've closed the chapter on your past relationship and are ready to move forward. Regards to Belinda, Doreen, and Prince at NHIS Asokwa. Hashtag the diary with David. This one is quite interesting. It's from Pato of Pato Laundry Services. He said, David, when I got a breakup in a certain relationship, what I did was that the lady used to work at a pharmacy shop. And every 3 days, I go to the same shop to buy condoms for her to know I have got someone. David, it's not easy, cry. Child, but come and buy condom. What are you communicating to the lady? Some doses when breaking up. Some doses when breaking up, there should be a demand notice by both parties. Demand notice is telling when the expiring date of the relationship is coming to an end. As usual, done by city authorities like KMA. Sandra will say, who says, David, it's as if the world has come to an end. The world has never come to an end, though. Give us a call on 03220-83596. I've read enough messages this afternoon, haven't I? My idea. Alex, haven't I done well? Thumbs up to he gives to me. So 03220-83596. Let's have you join us with your thoughts as well. We're talking about breakups. We're asking how it should be communicated. Should we do it, in a very nice way, or breakups are breakups? So say it as you want to. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Dave.
Yes, sir. What's your name, sir? Hello? Let me pick another call. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. All right, so let me try this one. Hello? All my lines are messed up. My line is breaking up with me or something. And
then check what you have done.
My phone line is breaking up with me this afternoon. All right, so let's try and see. 03220-83596. Let's see if he can get through to us. I don't know what the problem is with the phone lines, but Gabriel is here. Engineer Gabriel. I mean, he's one of our engineers. Let's see what he's going to be able to do to the phone lines. But Kofi, let me. So when you have a breakup, bad one, what do? Do you keep to yourself? Do you go tell your parents about it for comfort? Do you see friends? What do you necessarily do? I'm told that the lines are back, so let me try the phone line. Say it again. Good afternoon to you. Hello, good afternoon. The line is bad. Let's try another one for me. That one too went off. Let's try another one. Hello?
Dave.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dave.
Pato.
Dave.
Now, Timo don't power. Who got condoms every 3 days?
I said, Dave. Okay. We've been to down. I'm judging the girlfriend in my monodia. We've been to that. Dave, let me say good afternoon to you and to ACP Django, and not forgetting Dr. Abasacha of Confanoche. Dave, I think, especially to the ladies, for them, I mean, when they meet somebody, especially if the person is using 2018 model, that is the cars that on the road, they will soon forget us because here I'm from. So they should give us time, like, maybe a 1 month time, no bejai. That's what I want. So one can win na adaba flows and maybe few power offering of a channel as any message in Wajai. David is a compensation them.
Thank you very much, Patu. Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, David.
Yeah, what's your name, sir?
Uncle George speaking.
Uncle George, welcome, boss. Let's hear you.
I actually did not listen to the full program from the beginning, so I wish this you could do a repeat. This is a very good program or subject you are discussing this afternoon. It's not easy unless you've not experienced it before. So sometimes you need to understand certain people who go to the extent of even killing themselves after breakup.
Yeah.
But all the same, you need to be patient and then talk to God when these things happen, so that no matter what, life goes on.
I hear you.
And also, you need. Hey.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Never.
Yes, dear.
Oh, yeah, those who are not when did he?
Me mom dear didn't me that dear.
The radius.
Yeah, but me this social media breakup dear, I don't think it's best. If you are breaking with someone, you tell the person face to face. But social media dear, one have nipan benya shoko because upon reading the message and maybe she has no clue, and all of a sudden a message on phone, bam.
What's up, sir?
Yeah, she'll get a heart attack. And I say,
I hear no. Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Yeah, David, good afternoon.
Kalusha, welcome, boss. Let's hear you.
David.
Yes, sir.
That is why when you are going, you have to think anything can happen. You understand? It's such things can happen. So if you are going, make your mind, time will come, such things can happen. If you don't want it, then the earlier the better you get married and stay out of trouble.
I hear you.
Because this heart attack can kill. But if you are going and you don't strike your mind for it, you are in for trouble. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kalusha, and I wish I could pick some more calls and hear from you wonderful, amazing listeners. But for want of time, thank you very much for doing the listening. Kofi, in 10 seconds, wrap it up for us.
I think Kalusha's submission is quite okay. You must understand that it's another person you are bringing on. And if he cannot fit, it means that he's not fit also to move on. So hold your life and then make sure that you have positive thoughts towards the future.
And Teresa, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much, Kofi Asianua, for being here. Delali is here. He's got sports. Delali, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
So tonight there's a match. Man City, Arsenal.
Yeah.
Your predictions for the game?
Oh, I mean, Arsenal will start as underdogs.
Arsenal will win 3-0.
They'll start as underdogs.